yesterday though is crazy. I remember seeing one tweet that actually resonated with me a lot, which was basically saying like, we don't even realize that we're like witnessing history here. You mean what happened to your camp? Whoa. I wasn't gonna vote. Listen, Chad, I'll tell you, this is one of those things that like always is hard for some people where it's like, I wasn't gonna vote for Trump. I'm not planning on voting for Trump now. Trump is gonna win. Like guys, I'm sorry, but like, you don't take this picture and then lose the election. Like, this is just farming aura right here. Exactly. Like, you don't take this picture and then lose the election. I mean, there's a lot of like crazy things going on with this whole thing. I was gonna give chat some thoughts on it. First of all, the idea that like it's staged or fake or something like that. I mean, there's always a chance, right? We've seen crazy conspiracies. There's a chance. Nah, that pic is corny as fuck. Actual felon and people glazing is insane. What's the opposite of glazing? Because like I'm sorry, but like, I don't know what to tell you, man. The guy just almost got shot and assassinated, and then they get this picture of like come on, dude. Like, I don't think it matters if it was staged at this point. Well, no, it totally would matter if it was staged. I just don't think it's staged. It's just like, guys, yeah, you can dislike Trump and then acknowledge that this makes history and that's an important thing that happened. Like, let's be honest. If it was, which scandal or like which stage scandal is more likely that this was an inside job to try to actually kill Trump, or that it was, you know, staged and fake so that it'd make Trump look like a hero? The former is actually more likely. I don't think either are true, but the former is more likely. Again, I feel like I have to like walk on eggshells when I give political takes with chat, but I'll try while walking on eggshells. Trump was going to win the election before this. Like, Trump was probably going to win before this. I think things would be worse for America had it actually happened. Not going to lie. Yeah, dude, I don't think people realize how bad it would have been if he actually got killed. Like, there's a lot of that's just really, people are like, oh my God. I mean, listen, I love the memes, you know, like, oh my God, he was dinked 140. Oh my God, why didn't this guy spend time in aim labs? Listen, I love the memes, but like when we pull back from the memes, it's really good he wasn't killed. I think he won the election even beforehand. Yeah, Skeen, I agree with you. Like, the memes are fucking fire. Like, don't get me wrong. Keep memeing. The memes are amazing. But like, yeah, it's really bad if he actually, what actually happened? Wild. Like, in chat, this is like, we're watching, like, this is like actually, this shit will be in history. I've watched pro wrestling my whole life. No stage event looks. Listen, if it was, guys, prior to this, I'm gonna be honest with you. Prior to this, the way Trump wins the election, like, I'm pretty sure his strategists and everyone else would agree. The way Trump wins the election prior to this is do nothing. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, everyone's like, like that photo, that means he, like, this photo just like secured it, man. This is like, you know, this is teabagging the victory at this point. Like, after the debate, and then what's even worse, does anyone have the thing of like Biden speaking? What was the thing of Biden's like press conference thing? What was that?
I've said before.
Like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, then this is like after he gets cooked in the debate, and then he goes out and they let him talk for like an hour. And I watched clips from it, and the dude is just muttering and rambling.
Russia will not prevail in this war. Ukraine will prevail in this war, and we'll stand with them every single step of the way. That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. You can beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Thank you so much.
Bro, he's lost, chat. Like, Grandpa is lost. I actually genuinely think that that of the like talking points of like, oh, he's doing okay, he's totally fit to lead the country versus he's actually like mentally like not all there. I believe the latter more. Anyways, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so then people were like, oh my God, this is so obviously staked and phased. I'm like, dude, like Trump was gonna win no matter what. Like now it's like he really wins. Sammy said, oh, I like this comment. I think a huge thing here is he can't sit there and say what he missed, but also ask for support to end school shooting. Shooting a person equals shooting a person. It was wrong no matter how much you dislike the person. Yo, agreed. Old man with ADHD and a stutter acts like an old man with ADHD and a stutter. No, and like again, I'm not trying to like this is from like 7 years ago.
Not only do we have the largest economy in the world, we have the strongest economy in the world.
Like,
we have the most productive workers in the world. And given a fair shot, given a fair chance, Americans have never, ever, ever, ever let their country down. Never. Never.
This was 7 years ago.
Ordinary people like us.
Listen how he talks and look at his composure.
We've had candidates before who attempted to get elected by appealing to our fears, but they've never succeeded because we do not scare easily. We never bow. We never bend. We never break when confronted with crisis. No, we endure, we overcome, and we always, always, always move forward. That's why.
Oh, that's aura right there.
That's why I can say with absolute conviction, I am more optimistic about our chances today than when I was elected as a 29-year-old kid to the Senate. The 21st century is going to be the American century. Because we lead not only by the example of our power, but by the power of our example. That is the history of the journey of America. And God willing, Hillary Clinton will write the next chapter in that journey. We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line. Don't forget it. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Come on. We're America.
Now, that was 7 years ago. I mean, so the person say like, well, what if I have ADHD and a stutter? I mean, like I'm watching him here and he doesn't have a stutter. I mean, I don't think that like, at what point is it okay to like criticize someone and be like, hey, he might have like some form of dementia or he might just not be all there, right? I'm going to be honest. I'm not trying to be mean or ageist, but when it comes to the office of the presidency, when they restrict the age and say you have to be 35, I think, to run, then I'm going to be really critical on the older end of candidates. Be like, yo, you are not fucking fit. So, yeah, I mean, a position of being the president of USA is taking a huge toll on you as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's vote for Mr. Beast. I mean, like, this is again like one of those things where it's like I feel like I have to dance on eggshells with this kind of content with chat because listen, I know you guys lean politically, right? But it is one of those things where I'm like, I'm going to be totally honest with you, like Trump's winning the election. Like again, it's like, but his ideologies are the same even if he's older. The ideologies of the other party is fascism, and he's also older. Okay, yes, chat. Let me repeat this again. I'm just telling you that Trump won. Like, just accept that. Vote for who you want to vote for. Vote for a third party if you want. I'm not going to vote for Trump. I don't support Trump. I don't support his policies. But he won. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm pulling up Biden and comparing because I actually genuinely think he won before this shit even happened. I think Trump won before all this shit happened. Before, the assassination attempt. right? So I'm just trying to level with you guys, be real with you. Unironically, I would vote for Mr. Beast over either of them. To say he's not winning at this point is just illusion. Bro didn't have aim assist on. Oh. Also, by the way, dude, like guys, the memes are just like.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, and niggas trying to take my life away.
I don't think that Mr. Beast would have been a good idea as well. People underestimate how hard it is. Bro, Mr. Beast would have been a great idea because Mr. Beast, when he tweeted out about what he would do if he's president, listen, the best presidents are the ones who just pick good people. Like, that's the best president. I would never vote for a 34 felon president. I don't care. Like chat, I want to be clear, but sorry. And I'm going to repeat this again. I'm not saying you guys should vote for Trump. I'm showing you guys that Trump won. Like, I'm just vote for who you guys want, you know? Oh my God, this shit was funny. I agree, dude. This was the TikTok that first came on my For You page. I felt this one.
I'm so mad because that picture of Trump getting shot eats. It eats. Why does it eat? I'm so mad. And I just feel like if it was Biden, I feel like Biden wouldn't even have made it, bitch. He wouldn't have made it. He would have froze, bitch, in place and went like this.
I mean, like, listen, at this point, and this is why I'm like, yo, I embrace the memes at this point, chat, because like at this point, I'm like, hey, like the dude won, you know, we might as well have a little laugh with it, you know. I just find it odd that we expect people to retire 67 plus due to mental decline, yet the most important job in America is contested between two 80-year-old people from the UK, but never understood. Dude, I'm actually really amazed that the younger limit to run is 35. Why can't you run for president at 18? Like, you can go and die for the country, but you can't run to be president? Like, that's crazy to me. I actually think that the whole like 35 thing is bizarre. Like, okay. I think it does further support the sort of, I heard described as like the geriocracy, you know? But imagine an 18-year-old as president. Chat, I would rather have, like, I'm going to be honest, chat, like, of average 18-year-olds, I'd rather have an 18-year-old than someone who's just not mentally there, you know? Some real life experience is helpful. I mean, sure, but what happens when you're not, like, you know, there? Why'd they never think about making an age limit? Okay, well, this is my other, like, hot political take. The founding fathers, and I shit you not, but like, and everyone's like, yo, but they were like actually so fucking smart. They built like, bro, the founding fathers were not so fucking dumb that they didn't think that the Constitution should be rewritten. In fact, one of them wanted it to actually be like mandatorily rewritten every like 20 years or some shit like that, right? Like, I know people think that the strength of the Constitution is that it's like not supposed to be rewritten, but I'm like, it probably should. Like, why do we not change our views on politics when we change our views on industry and economy and society and human interaction? Like the vast majority of like scientific discovery, like we've made more scientific discoveries probably in the last decade than we made in the century before then, right? Like you probably should update, you know, shit like that. And a lot of the founding fathers wanted to. So, I mean, I'm very pro, like, let's like review our history and all that shit, you know? The people in this chat who say they don't vote for Trump because of his ideologies and policies don't understand that it's not about them, but about the undecided massive voters who can influence an election, and that massive voters is most likely to decide who to vote for based on Biden's recent vote. I mean, chat, I'm not making up numbers when I say, like, this was 2 days ago. Like, there's like a lot of like stuff. Oh, man, was it in this Pew Research? There's like a lot of stuff that people just don't think about, right? Like Trump was already winning. Trump was up. I think it was like 44-40 was like the most recent polls. And that was before Biden's horrible hour-long bullshit, right? So, I mean, I am going to guess when we see the next polls, I would not be surprised if we see a 10-point difference, which is crazy. Right. I would not be surprised if we see a 10-point difference. Also, this is like one of those things where I'm like, I think it's important that people just have like for instance, the idea that like, hey, all Republicans who are voting for Trump are just white people. It's like I mean, like, sure, way more than Democrats. But I even read this recently. I was like, oh, I didn't know it. So about 8 in 10 Republicans, 79% are non-Hispanic white. But 2 decades ago, that was 93%. So in 2004, Republicans were 93% white. And now they're 79% white, right? Like, that's like an important thing to like consider. I don't know. I just think sometimes people don't really like, again, especially if you are on like the progressive side, I think you hurt your cause. And I think the Democrats have hurt their cause when they just assume that they can win. And when they're like, oh, Trump is so awful. How could anyone vote for it? It must be these racist white people. It's like, no, clearly messages are getting out to other people. I mean, in general, I think the popular vote isn't how you get elected either way, though. Okay. If you have a 10-point difference in the popular vote, you won the election. There has never, like, I'm like, show me where someone lost the presidency but won the popular vote by a 10% difference. Like, are you like what? Wow, you can call Elam Spain. Okay, hold on. Let me call Elam. And I'm saying that, but please just like, dude, Black Twitter's not doing well, guys. What the? Oh no! Trump at the next debate. Hold on. Let's see this.
Step upon me, Lord in my dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, and he's trying to take my life away.
Yeah, I see it. What doctor works on a Sunday? There's a lot. The Elon thing was kind of crazy. Imagine 50 as the VP. Has Trump picked a VP yet? I'm telling you guys, like, this shit, like, this will be like a pretty like significant political event in the US. Let's see what our boy Hasanabi is saying.
Throwing out details randomly about a situation, you know, that where the Republicans would be so much more protected if a registered Republican, perhaps, who has access to his father's gun that he purchased completely legally, would go and take that gun to the RNC, because that would mean that the situation is under control, that the situation is so much more free and so much more protected.
Bro, in all of this, I'm sorry. I am a huge advocate. Listen, someone's saying failed parenting. Guys, I genuinely just want gun legislation. Like, I just want, and by the way, I genuinely believe that good gun legislation will actually not reduce shootings that much. I think you need like a, actually, this is where we get a little weird. Okay, you guys want this is like the spicy take, okay? I want really good gun legislation. I don't think it will matter. I think we have way too many guns in circulation. I think you have just way too long of a culture of buying guns and like pretty high-powered guns that it just doesn't matter. Like, there's just way too many out there at this point. You could argue that like what Australia did with buying back guns could work, but like that just won't work. Anyways, the other thing is people say, like, when people really talk about the Second Amendment, if you want to talk about like the true spirit of the Constitution, bro, the Second Amendment existed so that if the government was tyrannical, the people could rise up and grab their muskets and fight against the fucking military that would also fight back with muskets. Like, The most gun-toting NRA card-holding dude who's got fucking ARs out the wizzy-waz, like, still doesn't have a fucking Predator drone, right? Like, you don't fight. You can't, like, we're in a day and age where, like, the discrepancy between, like, a regular person and the military is, like, you're not gonna do shit, right?
Critically injured. Trump was shot in the right ear. Now, that part is also questioned. We don't know if it was actually a piece of glass shard from the teleprompter that hit him in the ear, or if he actually did get shot in the ear. We don't know that either. But, you know, it seems...
I think he got shot in the ear. By the way, not only do I think he got shot in the ear, but that it is so crazy how close that bullet would have been to actually hitting him.
Who would have been eligible to cast his first presidential vote in November 5th election, in which Trump is challenging President Joe Biden. Now, all I'm going to say is this. It seems like he won't be able to cast that vote. This would be the funniest story on the planet if he was like a Nikki Haley voter. I said this earlier in my Discord, but I'm like, I will write Nikki Haley's name if it comes out that he was a scorned Nikki Haley stan.
Dude, okay. The other thing is that I think a lot of people are grasping at the whole, like, the dude's a registered Republican. I don't think it really matters, right? I don't think it really matters if he was a registered Republican or Democrat, like, you know.
So Act Blue doesn't mean anything. Act Blue simply means it is a processor for Democratic Party donations. The real interesting part about this is that the donation was earmarked for the Progressive Turnout Project, a national group that rallies Democrats to vote. Now, since this article came...
Trump must think he's actually sent by God now. Yeah, who was it, Jake Paul or Logan Paul? Yeah, like this kind of shit. If it isn't apparent enough who God wants to win, when you try and kill God's angels and saviors of the world, it just makes them bigger. Good beats evil every time. Trump 20. Okay. Bro. I am not trying to knock on like on shit like this, but it's like one of those where if you're a devout Christian, why would God care who's president of the United States? Like, as soon as you're like, hey, God intervenes to save the president of the United States, then I'm like, yo, God must really hate Central Africa because he has not intervened to stop their civil wars for the last like 100 years. Like, right? Like what? Like that's just bizarre.
20th, 2021. I reported on this pack in his mothership before. It's one of those scammy firms that blast people's inboxes relentlessly. Shit like, we need to know if voters support this. This data will provide to be crucial.
So is this like, are people like that? Like, does it really matter too much who he voted, like, or like who this guy was registered to vote to, or who he donated to? Like, does that really matter too much? I feel like it doesn't. I mean, I'm sure whatever it ends up being is that he like wanted to kill President Trump. You know, like
the municipality you live in, but the zip codes match up. So there's a little bit of back and forth on this, but
yeah. Listen, chat. I'll be honest. As soon as I learned that the shooter was not a minority, was not gay, presumably. Well, we may not know yet. You know, not trans. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Because if that was that's the side where I'm like, oh, we're fucked, right? But hey, as soon as it's like, just like, listen, he was a lot. Listen, guys, it's gonna be the same thing. He didn't have a good relationship with his parents. He was a troubled child. He was lost, like, right? Like, yeah, guys. Honestly, the big win is that it was a white dude. Like, thank God. Anyways,